Hello again and welcome to Letter from England. This is Jonathan Dawson broadcasting for AC Press and the Spanish Evangelical Alliance. This week an interesting statistic has emerged from the tragedy which is domestic violence. And it shows that there are 10 times more murders among couples who live together than ones who are married. Investigation has found that the murder of women by their unmarried partners rose by an enormous 35% in the year from 2002 to 2003. There have been 56 domestic murders in Spain this year alone. Yet what's most surprising is the fact that such violence is 10 times more likely in a relationship which, again statistically, is much more likely to break up. The actual figures work out at 0.39 murders for every 100,000 married couples and 4.2 for every 100,000 of those who live together. Well, in the grim world of domestic violence, why should this be? Christians, of course, perhaps would love to jump in with the glib answer that marriage, being instituted by God, is better for the couple, offers greater stability, is a better environment for love and for building a relationship, and so forth. Yet, if we're honest, that probably isn't the whole picture. And yet, as Christians, we do want to affirm marriage as an institution, encourage people to think about it. And obviously there is an underlying instability in live-in relationships. Couples who stay together without getting married are obviously much more prone to other kinds of pressure than a couple who get married. So is there rather more to tying the knot than meets the eye? It would appear that there is, for several reasons. One, that people still see it as a commitment. One of the reasons, of course, why more and more couples are unwilling to take that step. But those who do, perhaps, are less willing then to break up afterwards, more willing to work at it and make the relationship work, and it would seem, and we're grateful for this, less likely to be violent towards their partner. On the other hand, perhaps it's much easier to slip into a live-in relationship with the feeling that it'd be pretty easy to slip out of it as well. Also the fact that other pressures can come in, and perhaps without that commitment, without that undergirding or stability to the relationship, it would seem that violence, sadly, is also more likely to happen as well. So perhaps we have come around in a circular way back to our original position that actually marriage is better for you. Obviously, as Christians, we believe that God knows what He's doing, and when He set up marriage between a man and a woman in a lifelong relationship, that's the best pattern for people to build a relationship, for people to create a home, and certainly for people to have children within. So although the tragedy of domestic violence goes on, and we still long to find a solution to that, we know that human sinfulness, at the end of the day, is the factor which underlies all of this, as so much evil in the world. So it is that marriage is instituted by God, obviously. It is that marriage is better for people, and we would want to, as Christians, to model marriages and families and home life, which would be clearly without violence, but also with a great deal of love, that we can encourage those perhaps who are in less stable relationships to consider and follow that example. And there's a great challenge in our society where still many, many people do look at marriage, whether or not they practice it themselves or whether or not they take a long time to get around to it themselves, still look at marriage as something to perhaps work up to or look up to. And the more that Christian marriages can model safe, stable, peaceful, harmonious life and relationships, the more other people might want to emulate that themselves. Well, thank you again for listening to Letter from England, broadcasting every week on emission.net, or you can find it through the website protestantedigital.com. Goodbye for now.